Hello friends, my name is Anuj Dikshit and now we will discuss about firewalls. And firstly we will discuss about introduction to the past. In 19th century people used metal sheets in houses and panels to stop fire from spreading. This idea inspired the term firewall in the 1980s. Firewalls were added to control network traffic and protect the networks. In short, we will say firewalls started as physical barriers against fire, but in the 1980s they were used in computers to manage and protect internet connections. Let's see what is firewall. Firewall is like a security guard for your network. It stops unauthorized people or data from entering or leaving. How it is used? It can be a physical device like hardware or a program, software. Sometimes it's both. It protects private networks from unwanted access, though the internet. And why do we need it? To keep hackers and unauthorized users from accessing important or private information. In short, we can say a firewall acts like a digital shield to protect your internet network from bad or unauthorized access. The next slide is design goals. Everything goes through the firewalls. All data coming in or out must pass through it. Only safe stuff gets through. It can't be easily broken or hacked. In short, the firewall is like a strong security gate that only lets safe things in or out. There are four general techniques. Number one, service control, direction control, user control, and behavior control. Next is capabilities of firewall. It is act as a single point that keeps unauthorized user out of the protected network, provides a location for monitoring security related events, can serve as a platform for IPsec. Types of firewalls. There are three types of firewalls: packet filtering routers, application level gateways, and circuit level gateways. The first types of firewalls is packet filtering router. This is the quickest and easiest type of firewall to use. Examine each IP packet. It looks at every data packet like a letter that comes through, but it doesn't know the bigger picture, just the basic of the packet. Permit or deny according to rules. It decides whether to let the packet in or block it based on rules set by the user. List of rules based on IP or TCP header. The rules are like instruction on what kind of packets are allowed based on information like the address of type of data. Basically, it's like a guard checking each letter's address and deciding whether to let it in or not based on a list of rules. If the letter doesn't follow the rules, it either gets thrown out or allowed in depending on the default choice. This is the diagram of packet filtering router. This is internet and this is private network, and the in the middle packet filtering router. These are some advantages and disadvantages. Advantages are simplicity and transparency to users, high speed, and disadvantage difficulty of setting up pocket filter rules, does not support advanced user and authentication schemes, generally vulnerable to attacks. And there are some possibility to attacks. Now we will discuss about. The first is address spooking. This is like pretending to the someone else by using a fake address. The attacker creates fake data packets that look like they are from a trusted source, but they are not. The second is source routing attacks. Imagine someone sneaks in by talking a backdoor route instead of using the main entrance. This attack lets the hacker tell the data where to go trying to avoid security checks. And third one is tiny fragment attacks. This is like breaking up a big letter into many tiny pieces. So it's hard to understand. The attacker splits the data into tiny parts, making it harder for the security system to read everything properly, so the attacker can sneak past. These are ways that attackers try to trick to bypass security. Stateful packet filters. Dynamic packet filtering. This means the firewall is more flexible and smart about how it checks the data. Work at the network layer. It checks the data that is being sent across the network at a deeper level. In short, we can say stateful inspection is a smarter firewall that looks at a bigger picture of connections and use that information to keep the network safe. The second type is application level gateway or proxy. And the question is, what is application level gateway? An application gateway is like a middleman between two networks. It runs on a firewall system and helps control how users access application on remote computers. How it works? When a user wants to connect to a remote application, the gateway asks for the name of a remote computer. Then the user gives their login information like user ID and password. Traffic control. The gateway can also check and control the traffic at the application level, making sure only the right data passes through. In short, we can say an application gateway acts as a protective middleman, ensuring secure communication between users and remote applications. There are some advantages and disadvantages. Advantages is higher security than packet filters, easy to log and audit all incoming traffic. Disadvantage, additional processing overhead on each connection. The third type is circuit level gateway. Some special functions. An application level gateway has a special job for specific applications like handling web traffic or email. Two TCP connections. The gateway sets up two separate connections, one between itself and the user on the inside network, like someone on your computer, one between itself and the user on the outside network, like someone on a remote server. In short, we can say an application level gateway connects to different users inside and outside the network, and it handles the data transfer between them without checking the content too much. And this is the diagram of circuit level gateway. A outside host and an inside host. In the middle gateway, this is inside connection and this is an outside connection. Boson host. What is Boson host? A Boson host is a powerful secure computer that acts as a key defense point in the network with only the necessary security services running on it. Firewall configurations. This setup uses a Boson host, a strong security point that has one connection to the trusted internet network and another to the untrusted external network like the internet. It's like having a guard at the entrance of a building who checks everyone coming in and out. Screen hold firewall system, dual homed Boson host. This is similar to the single home system, but the Boson host has two connections, one to the internet network and one to a separate DMZ, a middle zone between the trusted and untrusted network. This configuration added an extra layer by creating a subnet, a smaller network between the internet network and the external one. The subnet has its own firewall and version host. It's like having a separate room or area between the building entrance and the main office to add more protection. In short, these are different ways to set up firewalls that provide varying levels of security by using different configuration and adding extra layers of protection. Screen host firewall system, single home based host. How a firewall works with two systems? A firewall has two main parts. First one is pocket filtering router. This is like a security guard that checks incoming and outgoing traffic based on set rules. Person host. This is a strong security computer that helps protect the network by performing tasks like verifying user and managing data connections. How it works? For traffic from the internet, the router only allows data IP packets that's meant for the Boson host to enter. It's like a gatekeeper that only lets certain things pass through. In simple terms, we can say the firewall uses the router to control traffic and the Bosnian host to handle security checks, making sure only trusted data gets through. And this is a diagram of screen host firewall system, single home Bosnian host. Screen host firewall, dual home Bosnian configuration. How the firewall works safely. Packet filtering router is not fully compromised. This means the router which checks the data has not been completely hacked or broken. It is still working to filter traffic safely. Traffic must go through the ocean host, all the data coming from the internet to the private network and vice versa has to pass through the ocean host, the strong security computer. This makes sure everything is checked properly before it reaches the network. In short, we can say even if the router is still safe, all the traffic has to go through the ocean host for extra protection. Then this is the diagram of screen host firewall dual mat home Gaussian configuration. And now we will discuss screen subnet firewall configuration. This is the most secure configuration of the three. Two packets filtering routers are used. Creation of an isolated subnetwork, which consists of simply the Gaussian host may also include one or more information servers and modems. This is the diagram of screen subnet firewall configuration. These are some advantages. Three levels of defense to protect against in- intruders. Outside router. The outsider on the outside facing the internet only lets the world know about the screen subnet. It keeps the internet network hidden so intruder can't see it. Inside router Inside router inside connected to the private network also only advertise the screen subnet to the internal network. This means system inside the network can't directly reach the internet. They have to go through the protected area. In short, we can say these routers helps keep the internet networks safe by hiding it and making sure traffic goes through protected areas first. This is the summary what we will discuss about previous slides firewalls, types of firewalls, and Bosnian host firewalls configuration. Thank you.